All right, shalom, shalom. First and foremost, want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh Bashem, Yahweh Shai, Bashem, Rakakwadash. Double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone. Shalom to the Akim and the few Akwat who may be listening. This is your brother Batakallah from the GMS camp here in Chicago, coming back at you with another lesson through the spirit and power of Yahweh Bashem, Yahweh Shai. And Lord willing, this will be an edifying lesson. All right, it's just going to be a quick hit, Lord will. I just left the plantation, and today while I was at work, I work in downtown Chicago, and the location that I was working at today, it's in an area where a lot of the Venezuelan migrants, conjugate and sell their wares and all that. They sell flowers and candy and shit like that. But they be down there, they be having their little kids down there, and some of the little kids, that are always in the area, I let them use the bathroom at the restaurant that I work at. If they got to use the bathroom, then come in, I let them use it. And one of the young ladies, she's a little girl, probably about the age of, she can't be older than like 6 or 7 years old. But she was in the bathroom, and, she was crying in the bathroom. And one of the customers, a woman customer, heard her crying. Now, I personally, through the spirit, I think that this lady's a Jake, but she looked like an Edomite. And, obviously she thinks she's a white woman. But, she was real, it really fucked her up, So, and that's why I think she was a Jake. Edomites don't give a fuck. Those kids are all downtown. And like I said, they come and use the bathroom all the time. None of these Edomites that go to my job to eat at the restaurant ever, said anything or tried to do anything, to help this little girl out or any of them kids down there out. But this lady was crying and all that shit. So, through the spirit, I think she might be a Jake. But regardless of the fact, this still applies, because if she is a Jake, she doesn't actually know that. She thinks she's white. But these Edomites, man, they're and then I'm gonna reiterate again, I believe that lady was a Jake, but these Edomites, they're really getting to the end of the line, and it's getting to a point now here in America where especially because Chicago's real segregated, and it's lucky for the rant. I just want to get the story out, but Chicago's real segregated. So these Edomites over here, they don't really see how fucked up Jake is really living like that. And this lady, she was wearing all type of Chanel and jewelry and all that shit. She was younger too. She was probably in her late 20s to mid 30s in that window. 28 to 35, around that age. And you could tell that she isn't used to seeing shit like that, and it kind of just all hit her at once. Because we end up having I had to, take this little girl back to her mother, and the woman wanted to go with us, and, so she's crying and all that shit. But, these devils, man, this shit is going down here. This place is going down the drain, and these devils are starting to have to really, first of all, the Lord has put the spirit in the earth to take the cloak away from these devils, all right? They can't hide behind their wickedness anymore and try to blame Jake. They can't do things covertly anymore. The Lord has put the spirit in the earth that's exposing these devils for everything that they've done and everything that they're continuing to do. All right. And you're seeing, the results of the things that they've done in every, now just every day. Before all this shit was removed, they'll go and roll on a country or roll on somebody, but the problems would stay over there. Now, the problems are starting to come to America, all right? And it's been happening like that, really since 2020, all right? But, this lady, she was crying, man. She was distraught because these Edomites, and like I said, I believe she's a Jake, but, she thinks she's a white woman. These Edomites, they don't see this shit, man. They don't be face to face with the destruction that they cause. These devils, They like to sit behind the armchair and destroy shit. They don't really get down and dirty when they're destroying things. They send lower class Edomites and Jakes and other heathens to go and do their bidding, and they don't ever really see the shit that they're doing to people, man. And another thing that this woman doesn't understand is that, hey, somebody got to be on top and somebody got to be on the bottom. All right, and right now we're at the point in time where it's Esau's turn to be on top, but he's running out of time. His turn's about to be over. All right, and so as the scriptures say, the head shall be the tail and the tail shall be the head. Roughly paraphrasing, things are about to turn back. But guess what? When we get our kingdom, when Yahushua comes and establishes the kingdom of heaven here on earth, hey, somebody's still gonna be at the bottom. It ain't gonna be everybody on top. All right, Jake is gonna be on top. You heathens and you Edomites are gonna be on the bottom. Esau in particular is gonna be at the bottom of the bottom. All right, and that's just how it's gonna be. Okay, but these people, they live their comfortable life. They live their luxurious life, not understanding that, for them to be living like that, somebody got to be living like how these Venezuelans and how Jake just all over the world is living. Not just those particular individuals that they just was the example in the story today, but Jake is fucked up wherever you go. And Northern and Southern Kingdom, not just Northern Kingdom or Southern Kingdom, both. Everybody that's a Jake is fucked up, man, under the curses. All right. And for those devils and all these people that live that high life, hey, for them to live like that, people got to be at the bottom, man. And they starting to really come face to face with that. And this lady is, she was crying and talking about how people should do something. And when we at work, we Clark Kent. I'm just trying to calm her down and tell her she did the right thing, trying to help the kid. But really in my mind, I'm thinking, shit, it's too late. All that shit is over. Y'all already did what y'all did. And like I said, I believe she's a Jake, but Esau already did what he did, man. Ain't no going back. All right. What's gonna go back or what's gonna make it right is when they get theirs. Point blank, period. But I'm gonna get this precept real quick and then I'm gonna close it out. This is Sirach 41:6. It says, "The inheritance of sinners' children shall perish." What's up, brother? How you doing? Yep. But Salakia, this is Sirach 41:6. It says, "The inheritance of sinners' children shall perish, and their posterity shall have a perpetual reproach." All right, and that's the phase that we're in now. See, these devils, they did all this wickedness to pass it on to their children. And, these elites at the top, they know that reincarnation is real. So, really they're doing this shit to pass it on to themselves because they come back in their lot. All right. And they understand that. But at the end of the day, everything that these devils got, they're wicked. They're sinners. The Lord is coming to destroy them, destroy their kingdom, and to give all of those things that they've taken from us back to us, man. And that includes them getting put into captivity. All right. And even before all that happens, now we're at the point in time where these devils can't even really enjoy the spoils of the things that they've done because they have to bear the shame of the things that they've done simultaneously. See, back in the 50s and the 60s and before, when America was great in the good old days, Esau could be proud in his wickedness. He didn't have to worry about bearing the shame of that. He could just live and enjoy the fruits of his wickedness. Now he's having to bear the shame, so you can't even enjoy the shit that the spoils of war, because all the shit that you got from wickedness and being a punk. All right. And these white women especially are seeing that this is happening, and they jumping shit, man. All these white women fucking with Jake. All right. And if they would have Edomite, it's because he's an idiot and they already got Jake done ran through him, and now they're getting married to some loser that's an Edomite. But all these white women, they looking for Jake, man. And they trying to distance themselves from Esau as far as Edomite males, because they don't want to be associated with the wickedness that's been taking place. But hey, man, if you're an Edomite, whether you're a man or a woman, you're going into captivity, man. You Edomite women can try to separate yourself all you want. And guess what? Hey, Jake will take the box. I've been known to have a good time with the white woman myself. All right, lawfully. But at the end of the day, if you're an Edomite, you're going into captivity regardless of that. This is verse 7. It says, the children will complain of an ungodly father because they shall be reproached for his sake. All right, and that's where we at right now. All these, see, the generations prior, you know, Esau was proud of being a devil. Now the children of these Edomites that was proud, they're not proud no more, because the whole world is shaming them for the wickedness that they've done, not just, you know, here in America, but all over the globe. All right. So now they have to live with that. People don't think Esau is a shining warrior of light no more. They know that he's the damn devil. And you know, these people are dealing with that, and that's a part of the curses being put onto them. Just like their women turning their back on the Edomite male is a part of the curses being turned onto them. All right, Deuteronomy 30:7, but 6 and 7, excuse me. This is verse 8. It says, woe be unto you, ungodly men, which have forsaken the law of the Most High Power. For if ye increase, it shall be to your destruction. So all of this shit that this devil got, all this wickedness that he did with the Bible in his hand, so-called in the name of Christianity, it was all for nothing, man. Because these devils are not even going to be able to enjoy the spoils, really. You know? Yeah, they got this world, they got their society. But compared to what we're going to get in the kingdom, it's not even going to... This shit is garbage, man. This place sucks. Even for Edomites, it sucks. See, in our kingdom ain't going to be... Jake ain't going to be fucked up, man. Ain't going to be no starving Jakes. Ain't going to be no Jakes that's living below the poverty line. All right? If you're an Israelite in the kingdom of heaven, you're going to be living good. Even you 2/3 niggas that's going to have to bear the shame of being wicked on this side, you still not going to be a bum in the street or no shit like that. You're just going to have to deal with the fact that you was a sucker on this side for however long the Lord wants you to bear that shame. All right. This is verse 9. It says, and if ye be born, ye shall be born to a curse. And if ye die, a curse shall be your portion. And that's what's happening to these devils. And that's what's happening to the current generation of these devils. They was born to a curse. And really, this current generation of these Edomites are just the wicked ass forefathers coming back in reincarnation. All them slavers, all them plantation owners that thought they got away with it. Hey, man, that soft ass Edomite you see at your job, that nigga probably was a plantation owner back in his day, man, or an overseer on the plantation, man. Now the Lord then sent them back down as a punk ass, weak ass Edomite who can't get no woman. All his women want to fuck with Jake. All the white women in his life fucking with Jake. You know, shit. Even if these niggas married, because Jake could commit adultery on these niggas, man. Jake wicked. They don't care. They gonna get down. You know. But they daughters, all that shit, fucking with Jake. All these weak ass Edomites you see on your job, hating on you, trying to fuck you over. These are slave overseers and slave masters back in the reincarnation, man. Weak as hell, can't really do shit. And the Lord jacking their ass up, and it's getting worse. And it's gonna keep getting worse for these devils because they going into captivity. All right. So hey, man, we at the end. These devils losing. The Lord is making them bear shame. And their pride is being tossed to the ground, man. So with that, we're going to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bashem, Yahushai, Bashem, Kakodash. Double honors to the apostles and the elders of the great millstone. Shalom to the Akim and a few Akwath who may be listening. Lord willing, this was an edifying lesson. Kwam Yasharala, Wa Ababa.